Good evening, folks. So, I was talking with some folks in the Rogue Tech Online Discord, and we were joking back and forth about how much of the history of the online map I've kind of been around for, either played myself, influenced myself, or just been witness to. And so, had the idea, and I think it was probably a stupid idea now, to set up tonight a special Q&A session. So I will be taking questions the whole night tonight that I'm on about Rogue Tech's online portion specifically. So if you have a question, if you're curious about something, let me know. Those of you watching on YouTube, I will have this on YouTube sometime tomorrow, probably, hopefully in the morning. What I'll probably do is start the upload tonight so I can just hit, go in the morning. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, hey, drop your questions there, and I will do my utmost to answer them. Please note, questions will be tilted to my point of view and my memory. I do not know everything. There was a lot that went on every season behind closed doors somewhere that I was not privy to. And there were things that went on behind closed doors I was privy to. Some of those doors I closed. Some of them I wasn't, but I still knew anyway. So, we shall see what we get for questions. All right. So while we wait for people to join in the stream, people to hop in and get questions rolling, let's go ahead and get our missions started. I did have the idea finally. I decided to reconfigure. I turned on kill teams. I'm not a fan of their changes to kill teams this season. I'm really not. But if you're already built up and already have a strong unit, kill teams are much more realistic than they used to be, believe it or not. They're a lot less punishing, like, per unit than they used to be. And even when they have, they always have double support lance now, they're not that bad.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
Not like they used to be. Now, I've done a couple of minor updates. I'm going to go through those right quick for those on YouTube. I did get enough of these light Ultra Gauss for my Night Star. These things are just killer crit weapons. You sit there with the AP ammo, and you just poke things until they explode. It almost never actually blows something up by damage. It's just like, oh, you crit out the engine. Oh, you hit the cockpit and the pilot just died. Oh, you hit an ammo bin. That machine's gone. And of course, my kaiju hasn't changed. The Kuroshi hasn't changed. Just ammo, armor, and UAC 10s. This other Annihilator, which is a Thumperilla chassis, this thing, it's actually my next candidate for Light Ultra Gauss. It's the same weight, and I believe same range. I've got one spare. Let's see. There we are. Just pause it if you want to read more on this thing, but no, the range is actually longer than these. Quite a bit. And I can carry the same amount of ammo, and it's all in less space by quite a bit. I can get rid of the recoil uppers because these things recoil of what? 2? If not 0? Yeah, 1 per shot, so 2. which when you've got accurate weapon ballistics and any pilot that I do, because all of my pilots, unless they're specifically a missile pilot, have an extra recoil reduction. So those are effectively zero recoil. I can get rid of those, which saves me 2 tons. And yeah, so this is my next one that's getting Lugers. I just need 3 more. I've got 2 of these longbows. They're not quite the same. Their ammo varies slightly, their armor varies slightly, but they are effectively the same purpose. My Black Knight that I've had almost since the beginning of the season, I switched it over to just 3 ERPPCs. She trucks. Not the greatest mech, but hey, crazy long range. She does solid damage. Not great, but solid. My Vulture 2, gear, legendary chassis. This thing does good work too, especially Inferno. It's good support heat. Finally got some upgrades for my punch bot. This thing, until I get either an Obsidian Skull or a Care Bear, this is as good as punch bots get for me, the way I play. Oh, I gotta correct myself. Minus, I need a Nitro Boost special, because that triples run speed. So turn 1, while you're still in, maneuver mode, this thing with a Nitro would be able to get pretty much anywhere. Its speed at that point is 33 hexes. It gets pretty much anywhere. And then my vehicles, these haven't changed. I've got 2 of these, literally identical. 2 of these. Fantastic little AMS boat. The JES, I had swapped this over to... Oh, did I ever get more else? I did not. I had swapped this over to having 4 clan LRM-20s, but it just wasn't doing squat. Whereas, as additional counter missile, more AMS, I just don't fear missiles anymore. With these 3 suckers, I don't fear missiles. And then my portable long tom stealth cannon. This thing's fun. This thing is just plain fun. It's great to watch it just hit something, and like everything in the area takes a good spread of damage. It murders battle armor from long range.
Always good to see you in Ops, Commander.
So let's see. Do I go fight FedCom? Ooh, extremely heavy mech. These are always good missions, because you can guarantee they have 1 mission lance, 1 mission mech, and then whatever your support lance stuff is. So this would be 13 total targets. These little descriptions are not just whatever. They actually have meaning. Elite Lance, same thing. Elite Lance is 1 single lance and then supports. So like if I did this mission, 12 targets. Scramble missions, these go back and forth. You're weight limited, and sometimes you get full enemy units, sometimes you just get 1 or 2 lances. They can be pretty neat. Pilot mech felled over. Again, this is one of those, there's gonna be 1 target, one mission lance, and then the support lances. But this mission, they can drop more as you fight. So these can really suck if you're not really fast. If you're fast, you can actually kill the 1 target and leave. In some cases, they don't even have like a mission lance. It's just 1 target and then supports. And then 2 to 3 additional that drop over the course of the fight. So, yeah. Anyway, let's actually start with Elite Lance. I like Elite Lance. There's usually good loot there. I'm currently still in farm mode, where I'm just hunting equipment, building money. I'm not really concerned about, gains and all that stuff in terms of influence, especially where I'm at right now. I'm on there's some Comstar dots right between FedCom in Kurita, and I'm in that area, though I'm not high enough that I deal with bears. I don't feel like dealing with bears. Mostly because fighting bears with kill teams, just any clan with kill teams, sounds awful.
Command interface.
I've got my first talker. I've got, now, I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it Wise? Is it Wheeze? I don't want to say it wrong. I'm trying to pick my landing location. Okay, Wise. Got it. So Wise, I'm doing this kind of Q&A style, where I want people to ask me questions so I can give them answers rather than me just jabber on like an idiot. God, there really is not a good place to land here. This place sucks. I don't want to land this far out, but I might have to. Better. Oh yeah, this'll do. This'll do right here. Because I can keep my AMS boats kind of in the valley there. Hey, and I've got Vilthos here too, so I've got 2 watchers. Am I a little low? There we go, I turned it up. That should be like 20%-ish.
Commander.
I'm also just not being particularly loud today. Let's see what we've got. So, those of you just joining in on Twitch, I did reconfigure for kill teams. So we're going to see kill teams tonight.
Ready for orders.
And we'll see how this goes, because those can be a mixed bag. Sometimes you get stuff where you just laugh at them and murder them. And sometimes you see things like this with dual rotary AC-20s. Yeah, those are totally not scary at all. Especially with that much armor and mechanical jump jet. Or no, that's the adaptive core. Oof. But that's okay, because you know what? You overheat that guy and he suddenly has a bad day.
Yes,
He has
Commander.
a very bad day.
We'll go. Ready for orders. I copy.
Ooh. So, Wise, he started with the question of questions.
On my way. Double time.
Can you think of any major drama that happened in game lore or between players throughout different seasons? Yes. Oh, there's been some doozies.
Standing by.
Probably the biggest doozy of all. I won't name the names involved because partially
Yep.
I was still pretty new and I only, know one of them that was involved.
Understood. Moving fast.
at all. But the entire reason why there's a Season 2R, Season 2 Redux, and a Season 2 Original.
Orders.
Because back then, before registering and vetting existed, so this is way, way back, you would have channels all over the place. And I don't think there were actually private faction channels yet. I think that was added later. So instead, you had like public-facing, quote-unquote, RP channels where, like, if you were Comstar and wanted to announce something as Comstar, you talked in the Comstar channel. And since there was no register or vetting,
I await your command.
everybody on the server could see these.
Moving to
And the
position.
thing is, there also weren't diplomacy channels yet, I don't think. Those were, again, added later. So you would have, you know, people trying to discuss something,
What can I do for
and
you?
they didn't know if you were in character or out of character, and there were people who used in character to cover for really, really bad, just awful things. And somebody took it a little too far, and literally that was what got Rogue Tech Online shut down for like 6 to 8 months. Not a mini season or something. It was straight up shut down, and they weren't even sure they were going to bring it back up. And when they did, we got the first iteration of what we have now. There was a registration system. There was a vetting system. These were brand new ideas then. Let's see. He is in long range. Is his armor immune to... Where is his armor? What kind of armor does he have? Oh, stealth armor. That's not... Ah.
Reporting critical hit.
Oh, good God. I've got a newcomer, G Bart 515478. I'm actually not familiar with that section. I'm going to have to check that section out.
Got something
He
to
said
adjust?
there is a, and I quote, and again, I was not aware this section even existed on the wiki, but apparently it's called Twats Did It. That is a new one to me. So there is a very real chance that that might be the source. Is, yeah, somebody took something a little too far and
Yes, I hear you.
brought the whole thing
On
down.
my way.
Yeah, in reading that little segment there, yeah, that is more or less why that exists. Like I said, that's why we have the register and vetting system we have now, was people proved incapable of self-policing or communal policing,
Follow me to victory.
and we ended up needing to have the system we have now.
Orders.
In fact, when Season 2R first started, at first, role-playing was not allowed. When it first started, they actually had to wait a month or two before they were willing to consider it again.
Aye, aye.
And then it got its own dedicated area, dedicated channels. They required vetting to access.
Commander.
And Season 2 had a couple of crazy things that led to, okay, we're going to add some more rules. And then Season 3 had a lot of extremely crazy things that led to a lot more rules.
Firing all weapons.
I was actually very heavily involved in both 2 and 3, and, oh god!
Reporting internal damage.
Losing lots of armor.
I can't take much more of
I do not like when they shoot at my tanks,
Hit, Commander.
because stuff like that... That's scary.
Order.
But yeah, I was pretty deeply involved in a lot of the shenanigans, to the point that I was one of the people that helped them rewrite the roleplay rules.
That's your best shot.
And yeah, they do love to target vehicles. They see them as soft targets. If they have a chance to just hard focus them, they will.
They will be done. Target acquired.
Was that dual light Goss, or does somebody have a light ultra? Dual light.
Good to go.
Sadness. Pure sadness.
I hear you.
He's not actually going to shoot. He's just sitting there.
The directorate must fall.
It depends on the season there, G-Bart. He asked, what's been the... Oh, and he said his name on the Discord is Don Cheadle, so I'll just use that. I'll try to remember. My memory's pretty bad, but he says, what's the faction that surprised you the most, whether it's punching above their weight or the inverse of that?
Discharging weapons.
I really try not to toot my own horn on this kind of stuff, I really do.
On my
But
way.
Canopus in Season 3.
Onward.
Because in Season 3, I decided after the stress that was Season 2,
Yes, Commander.
I wanted a nice, easy season.
Moving.
So I was going to go with Canopus, where things are quiet and nobody cares. Yeah. Canopus actually attracted a fairly decent-sized crowd. And none of them really had a lot of Rogue Tech war experience. But they did have some crazy ideas. And they would vote whether or not they wanted to do them and then say, okay, you, make this happen. And because I have a hard time telling people no in a situation like
Here
that,
it comes.
I would do my utmost to help them make it happen. And a couple months into the season, we're talking
Awaiting orders.
maybe 2 months,
On the move.
Canopus went from, and note this particular map is a Republic era map, 3081, so it's Republic of the Sphere. Merrick had broken down into multiple Merrick houses, things like that. Within 2.5 months of the season starting, Canopus was staring at the Pentagon worlds in clan space, fighting with Clan Coyote, on the verge of invading the Kerensky cluster. And man, if I had just a little bit more leadership experience, just a little more, I wasn't really ready to do it yet. I wasn't. My own morale cracked. That led to a morale crack for the faction in general, and that's kind of what doomed
I
us.
copy.
But if I'd had a little bit more experience, we were on the verge. 2 days of fighting if we hadn't given up. And we could have cracked their fortification. We would have burned them out, wore them down, and we would have been able to blitz from just outside the Pentagon all the way up into the actual Kerensky cluster properly.
Yes, Commander.
I cracked. And that led to a complete morale breakdown. And that was that. So yeah, Canopus, they can be surprising.
Aye, aye. Position confirmed. Sensors locked on.
That was definitely the biggest surprise I've ever seen in a season.
Location
Because
confirmed.
other than the Rangers just showing up in a random faction and, you know, they're the Rangers, that was the weirdest show of strength I've ever seen. Especially considering how many of them were noobs. A lot of them were noobs or not real hardcore players,
Coordinates received.
and yet we still pushed.
Ready for orders. Location confirmed.
It was funny for a while. We actually skirted up around the outside of Old Merrick Space, around the outside of Steiner Space, all the way up, and people just would ask, "Hey, what's Canopus doing? What are y'all up to?" And I would tell them, "Oh, we want to draw a cat on the map. That's the tail." And it's crazy enough, people believed me. That's exactly the kind of stupid thing you do when you're in Canopus.
Awaiting orders. Move order confirmed. Confirmed. Yes! Give them every... Reading you loud and clear. Confirmed.
So Wise asks, did the Coyotes own the Pentagon Worlds in that season? At that time they did. So the Coyotes were the only really active homeworld clan.
Locking in coordinates.
Stone Lion was there, but they were really small. And Bear was actually, they started in the Inner Sphere because in that era they had the Ghost Bear Dominion, which is Rosselhog and Bear merged. So Bears had a big pocket right between Steiner and Kurita to begin with. And,
Give them everything you've got.
you know, Wolf had a pocket,
Heavy damage.
Falcon had a pocket, you know, all the really big name clans had pockets in the Inner Sphere to start with.
Yes,
But
Commander.
the Coyotes, and there was one guy playing Blood Spirit. He played Blood Spirit the entire season and did nothing but fight Coyotes solo for a season. That dude was a mad lad.
We'll go.
Absolutely insane.
Firing. No retreat.
Okay, Don's asking, is there a hardest faction to start as in the online experience? Both in lore and online experience question. Yeah, you're right. It depends on the season. So,
On my
when
way.
they change the eras, if the tech level changes significantly, they will actually update the starts. That way it's not the same starts every single season, right? Because, you know, we just, last season, Season 6, it was an Ill Clan era start. Everybody's basic tech level is so much higher in that era. I mean, I started as Davian, and I started with a Mad Cat breed. It had dual clan LRM-20s with
Take
Artemis
orders.
5. It was a mass destruction machine. It was insane.
Hey,
This season,
listen.
our map is 3031. We're Succession Wars. They updated all the starts again. They are actually lower tech than the older traditional 3025, or not 3025, 3045 starts.
Commander.
Because the old traditional starts before they started
Good to go.
changing the eras every season actually had a little bit of lost tech. And usually you'd get like
What can I
4
do for
mechs and some vehicles. So like you'd get 3 medium
I'm
mechs,
listening.
a light mech, whatever mech your commander starts with, and then
Where
you
you
get
at?
2 or 3 tanks on top.
Directorate must fall.
Things used to be pretty crazy.
AC-5 ammo gone.
As far as hardest faction, clan. Just any time there's clan. Ooh, what just happened?
Reporting. Major armor
Battle mech
loss.
power up detected.
Did he just kill his own guy?
Battle mech power up detected.
It like zoomed in really weirdly. And now it's just several of them going, I don't like this.
Armor holding.
Yeah? Oof.
Who's next?
Jesus. Trying to scroll back up. Yeah, it looks like he tried to fire at me and he blew up the catapult. Because, yeah, the catapult's gone. Wow. He had me worried. I do not like when it, just zooms in weird and I lose track of things.
Firing all buttons. Well done. Here we go. Nexus
Stack
deployed.
hold.
Aye, aye.
This mission's actually going surprisingly well.
Moving
I'm
to
waiting for
position.
me to die. I really am.
Come on, people. Let's make it happen.
I'm waiting for something to go wrong
Reporting critical hits.
and this to explode in my
Standing
face.
by. Acknowledged.
And I always answer just because.
Hit 'em hard. Solid connection on that one.
See, and if one more of those Lugers had hit this guy in the face, just one more shot, he'd be dead. Sorry about that. Had to mute for just one moment. I did. Society was
You have my
like the
attention.
big bad faction in season 2 R when it came back.
Confirm.
They had a particular player base that doesn't play anymore for a variety of reasons. I won't go into them just because they don't play anymore. It wouldn't be fair to them. They can't respond. But they were very organized. They were very skilled, and they had a fair amount of players. They were a group, and they did Society because it was available as a player faction that season. And they dropped as clan stars, but they had such high tech, and their tables weren't really nerfed any more than other clan tables were as far as like weight. So like you'd be at difficulty 11 seeing clan assault mechs with Society tech in them. The difficulty curve also changes each season these days. They keep updating it. So, yeah.
Receiving you.
They are looking at, like, they're going to try to patch it so that factions that don't use standard
Standing
lances
by.
get limited on their support lances to just one. And if they get that in, I've told Jamie, the guy that, for those that don't know, that created
I'm
the
here.
online map and the chief administrator for it. Well, come to think of it, I don't know if he actually fully created. If I remember right, there was somebody else that made it first that he took over from. I don't remember all the details because there were seasons before the numbered seasons. It's kind of like a prehistory
Orders.
era.
I copy.
But yeah, that exists. Anywho,
I copy.
um,
Right. Who's next?
if they can get the factions to where they're limited in support lance by being over the standard lance, I told Jamie that he should go ahead and give Society Septs. Let them be 7-unit lances. Let people experience the pain.
Yes,
So, if they do bring that back, what they can actually do is have them roll on a lower difficulty table. But that'd be about all they can do as far as I understand it.
yes. Give them everything you've
Uh,
got.
Wise said, someone had mentioned if they do add sets, make their pilots below average to go along with lore. And I think that'd be a good idea. Again, just have their pilots roll on a slightly lower difficulty table. I think that's possible. I am not a coder. I know coding is a absolute monster. I hate code. So things that sound simple aren't always, but you know, that sounds like it might be possible.
Yes, Commander. Got it.
Ah, no missiles?
I'm here.
Sad. That's like the whole point of farming IATMs is for fun missiles.
Losing lots of armor.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
I don't think the Bears will roll too much, and it's not a matter of can't. It's just a matter of I don't think they will. They've been aggressive at times. They've been non-aggressive at times. A lot of people have a hard time dealing with them. They just don't really understand them. I didn't really understand them until season 5. I think that was when I finally got a good handle on. I guess the best way to say it is just bear culture. Because Wise here asked, based on your time in previous RTO seasons, any predictions on what may happen this season? Ghost Bears continue to steamroll, for example, because they kind of are. You know, they can go wherever they feel like on the map and fight whoever they want. Most likely, really, just based on numbers and who I've seen and where. The only two factions that could fight them are Comstar or Tikhonov.
Awaiting orders. Moving to position. Yes! Give them everything you've got.
There are a fair amount of pretty strong merc players this season actually playing as mercenary. That with their help, there's several factions that could stand up, but yeah. Personally, I think we're gonna. Well, then again, Bubbles actually said that Jamie doesn't have, or at least hasn't expressed, any big plans for like a major new event this season, so we may not actually have a season event this year.
Copy that. Let's hit 'em hard. One left
Most
target.
seasons we get something about 3-4 months in that really throws a rock at the pond, so to speak.
Commander.
Like in Season 3, Society wasn't a playable faction, but it was a faction that existed on the map. It was just, Jamie enabled a thing where every time somebody completed a Merc contract, because that was the first season of Mercs,
Let's go.
it had a chance to trigger a insurrect in favor of
Tell me
Society
what you need.
with rapid fire pulses instead of like every 4 hours. It was like every 90 minutes.
I'll make it happen.
And it would pulse hard enough that you had to have 2 or 3 people fighting it or else.
Damn, let's do this.
So that season things got a little crazy when that happened because you had some people putting up Merc contracts
No retreat.
just to trigger insurrections in random places. I remember Lao, oh poor Lao, because anybody could fight Society. It didn't matter for adjacency. You could go and fight them for your faction and take from them for your faction. So, you know, if you were Tortuga and you only had like 4 dots left way out in the periphery, but a Society insurrection popped, you could fight Society and suddenly spawn your faction in the middle of Davian. People actually did that to Lao, and next thing you know, the Capellan Confederation is every color under the rainbow, and it's blinking on the map because of the insurrect.
Receiving you. Location confirmed.
The Capellans went from,
Here it goes.
you know, holding their own to almost non-existent in less than a
Inflicted
week.
some heavy damage.
All because they just happened to be the epicenter of, like, the first one of those insurrections. And then as soon as one happened, everybody just started triggering more. And then suddenly everybody got really gun-shy about using mercs until they wanted to take territory from somebody else. You couldn't use mercs to fortify, because if they completed the contract, oops, Society.
Yes, I hear you.
Waiting on you, Commander. I'm receiving you. Confirmed.
Knock him down. Yeah! Fall down. Ooh, he also explode.
Aye, aye.
I'm getting some good questions. I was really hoping we'd have more people participating.
Standing by.
Was really hoping to draw in some folks, maybe from off the RTO Discord. I posted it in a couple places. Was hoping to get some folks that maybe just are curious, didn't know anything about RTO, but Wise asks, have certain eras of the map seemed more popular than others, like ones with clans versus just SLDF time period? Absolutely.
Coordinates received.
we've only done one season where clans did not exist. That was season 4.
Go time.
And season 4 honestly had some of the worst problems we've ever had. Not only from gameplay perspective, but you know, because there was a lot of experimental stuff going on that season too.
No retreat.
There was a lot of interpersonal stuff going on, and yeah, that was just generally a bad season for a lot of folks.
Firm.
And not having clan tech except where it would randomly drop with local gov because they didn't touch the local gov tables.
Reading
Yeah,
target
Vildos, I'm not even gonna go there on the stream because that
accelerating maximum speed.
I understood the goal, but
Aye,
the
aye.
goal was not met.
Standing by. I'm on it. Follow me.
See, I had stopped well before then that season.
Orders. Copy that.
Yeah, for those of you that aren't watching live, Vildos mentioned something, and honestly, it's something I'm not going to go into. But there was a
Negative damage. Repeat. Negative damage.
there was a particular incident, is the best way to describe it,
Got it,
and
Commander. All right,
it was
folks,
supposed
get
to
this
help
done.
people.
I hear you.
It did not.
Affirmative.
Standing by. Copy that.
Roger that. Digging in.
Yeah, heated him up till he exploded.
Mission.
Okay, let's see. Actually, Psychopomp here. What's his? Da, 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 da. Eh, I was seeing if he might be worth replacing my punch bot, but it's just not worth the cost and the time and everything else. However, let's see if they dropped any good. I don't think I have the super shotgun. That really is a hell of a way to buff punch damage. I don't think I have one. I don't know if I like this or Spall Liner better. It's... Ooh, I could use more of those. Hey, money. I like money. Need to check, see if my punch bot can use that super shotgun or not. Let's see, I've got a combat shotgun. But I need to drop some weight. That's 1.1 tons. Ooh. Let's see if the sucker uses total weight. It's too much weight in that arm. Yup. And yeah, I don't have any arm gear that'll let me carry more in that one arm. Oh well. Maybe eventually. Oh God. Oh Lord. I hate jinxed so much. Because I swear, whenever I have somebody get jinxed once, they will dominate my monthly events until it's gone. Oh, wise, you would ask. So, as I said originally, all of my stories are going to be colored a bit by my own perception, my own memories, my point of view, where I was at things. Because, there's things that I wasn't privy to or I didn't know. So Wise asks, can you tell the story of how I, as Oranos, became Ilkhan of the Ill Clan? Because the RTO pilot Oranos, that is me, I've actually been in the game for quite a while. Because I earned that as part of a contest in Discord. way back before Season 3. It was fun. But they upgraded me after Season 5 with the Ilcon perk because we as Clan Wolf conquered Terra and held it to the end of the season. But getting there was a mess. An absolute mess. So, Season 5 was set at Exodus. So this is post-Amaris. Pre-Clan is when it started. SLDF in Exile was the starting faction for a lot of people. And I think it only started with 2 or 3 worlds. One of them, I'm going to pull up the map because it's somewhere over here. It's Sam something or San something. Not Santiago. Was it New something? New Samarkand. That was one of our starts. That was like the start for SLDF in Exile. And we went from New Samarkand straight up and out the pipe. And we made a sprint for the Pentagon worlds. Because all the rest of this map was turned off when it started. Like, this was the only pipe available, and only that path up to there. SLDF quickly conquered the Pentagon worlds, and they're like, oh, you know, Pentagon Civil War. And it opened another path, just high enough up to Strana. Where's Strana? Is that Strana? Yeah. We grabbed Strana. And then all of the clans became available. And all the rest of this map, but all the clans' homeworld was Strana. They all shared it. So we spent like 2 weeks after, and mind you, we got there after like 3 or 4 days. That was it. It only took 3 or 4 days to go from New Samarkand all the way up through all the BS to Strata. And probably the most cooperative any group of factions has ever been in RTO ever. We actually sat and took turns and let people move out and establish, you know, a quote-unquote home world somewhere within the Kerensky cluster. Everybody that wanted to play a clan had the opportunity to take some territory and move out and go. We made it. Now, once we had done that, very quickly, Comstar started coming up the pipes looking to fight. For a lot of reasons. It's kind of crazy. And I was tangentially involved. There was some misunderstandings that went on. But, yeah. I was the first one playing Wolf. I got Wolf to its home. I got a couple of players. When Comstar headed up this direction, because they were coming up the center pipe, I actually took Wolf and we beelined it out this direction. And eventually we made it all the way down through all the BS, and we settled in this area here because Steiner and Kurita had actually jointly offered us a little bit of territory between them as like a farming and as a buffer zone between them. So we held like this zone here. It was like 20 planets, maybe 30. You know, it was a good chunk, but not a ton. Well, originally we'd come down and some people had stopped us from going out around this direction because we were offered territory way down here between, because O'Regans didn't exist, between Canopus and Torian space. So we were going to come down here as well. But we got real good friends with Kurita and Steiner both. And Kurita offered us a free path through unfortified territory to travel down. Well, the problem is there was Fed Sons Davian down here, and they didn't really like us. But they were letting us transit. They didn't like the direction we were going, so we actually had to turn and go through Lao space because Lao had like 2 players. We were just like, sorry guys. So we came down, built our second little enclave here. So we now had one down at the south at the literal 6 o'clock of the map, and then one at the 12 o'clock of the map. We fought Lao a little bit when they populated some, took some territory. We fought Merrick a little bit after that. We were actually involved in a war against Davian for a little while, and we did drops on New Avalon. They hadn't fully closed our transit path, and so we used it to strike at them, and we got to New Avalon before they realized what we were doing. We got 2 or 3 drops in before they were like, and came back at us hard. But after that, I don't know their reasons exactly. Nobody ever told me. But ghost bears came screaming across Kurita space from this direction, and they challenged us for our northern bubble. Honestly, at first, with the players we had in Wolf, I thought we were screwed. I was ready to not even bother fighting them for it. But a couple of my folks were just like, nah, let's do it. Let's commit. And then Ghost Bear did have some internal problems of their own, not infighting, but they had some problems. Which, it sucks. It sucks. I feel bad for them, but at the same time, it gave us a fighting chance. We were able to fight them on relatively equal terms. We actually won the challenge. And high-fived, everybody seemed happy with the result. I mean, Bears obviously didn't get the territory they were trying to take from us, but, you know, we didn't push them out of the sphere or keep fighting them or anything like that. We were like, no. We met the objective of the trial. It's over. High five. Good job. Go clan. Now, we had our scuffles with Comstar on and off every time we were near them. They were relatively friendly and open to having a friendly clan for farming. But we always had problems. We always had issues. They had a lot of rogues going on. They really did. And we thought those rogues were way too coordinated to just be rogues. They probably were just rogues, but they seemed really coordinated. So, you know, conspiracy theories and all that. And Comstar owned like the whole center here. They had like basically the whole of old Terran hegemony space. It was a large bubble. Well, the season event kicked off. And the season event was whoever completed the puzzle that was going on Discord by flipping a particular planet. Yeah, their homeworld and everything within like 6 jumps got flipped to an event faction. Comstar basically got wiped out instantly. They could take their territory back, but it was difficult. And at the same time, because we'd had our scuffles with them and we now bordered them down here because we had eaten almost all of Lao because they were abandoned. We went for it. We fought them. And our guys were just so happy and such high morale that even facing, you know, Comstar's 6-unit lances, we just fought. And we just kept fighting. And eventually a lot of theirs just started to fall off. They were burned out. They didn't like fighting clans. They were tired. We weren't letting up. And eventually more of them quit. And we gained players because, hey, somebody's doing something. And we rolled them over, and we held Terra for the last 3 weeks of the season. So, yeah. That was Clan Wolf's Season 5 in a nutshell. Man, that's a long story. It feels like. Let's see. Local gov, extremely heavy mag. Sure, why not? Yeah, Kralik says long, but also a TLDR version at the same time. And he's not wrong. It really was. It's a long story to tell because it's a whole season. That season was like 9 months long, and it's one of the reasons why I said I will never ever fight over Terra again, like to take it. Because man, if you don't start with Terra, going for Terra is poison pill. It doesn't matter who you're fighting. It every single season somebody has gone for the invasion of Terra from outside. It has turned out ugly for everybody. Don Cheadle's asking, more of a gameplay mechanics, but are certain planets objectively better to own in the online experience? It just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, there are factory worlds. Factory worlds produce items every so many hours that get dumped into your faction shop. Some items are obviously more valuable than others, like, Terra produces king crab parts. So, you wait long enough, you can just wholesale buy a king crab royal model. It comes completely unequipped. You've got to rebuild it yourself, but you can buy a whole king crab. Which, if you're early game and you can shell out the like 6 million for enough salvage, yeah, you can get a whole assault mech early. It's kind of crazy. There's also certain key point, like choke point worlds at the edges of the jump point networks that controlling those controls transit. If you control transit, you have a powerful negotiating point for anybody who wants to transit anywhere. And then there's going to be, yep, the other mission links is right here. So I'm going to have no cover, but neither will they. And most of my guys are long range.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
But yeah, I think Season 5 was honestly the peak for me. Even though I just started an in-person job,
Yes, Commander.
I had plenty of time to play.
Good to go.
I lived in Discord for like 9 months coordinating people. Wise asks, anything you would potentially like to see in future seasons, arrow-wise or events? I'm not sure. Honestly, I think this era we're in is the earliest you can actually really do with rogue tech well. Anything earlier, and if they do it right, the inner sphere has such garbage technology everywhere that, yeah, all the loot tables are garbage until the clans show up, and then if the clans show up, their op 4s are so hilariously easy. Their biggest difficulty is actually funding their war, which is just bad. That's bad gameplay loop.
Standing by.
But at the same time, later eras can kind
No
of
problem,
suck.
Log. I got this.
Like, honestly, I hate the Clan era. And it's not a matter of tech. The tech is crazy, 'cause it's everywhere. I mean, like I said, you've got Fed Sons with clan mechs. And yeah, Clan just straight up had too many factions. And people, this is just a people thing. Doesn't matter what game it is, doesn't matter what community it is.
Aye, aye.
People like to congregate.
Copy that.
And they don't discourage that. And they shouldn't discourage that. People like to congregate. They like to play with their friends, or they like to play in a large group. There's actually a lot of mechanical gameplay advantages to Rogue Tech Online to playing as part of a large group.
Yep.
Your faction shop is better. You don't have as much to worry about. It's just all around good business.
On it.
It just is. But at the same time, people liking to congregate means you end up with 2, sometimes 3 really powerful factions, maybe one more really well organized faction, and then a whole bunch of nobodies. Like, again, looking back at 5, Wolf was tiny until we got to the Inner Sphere. It was 3 of us that were pushing it through fortified systems up in the pipes to get it into the Inner Sphere. There's 3 of us.
I've got a sensor lock.
And then by the time we had our first bubble built, it was maybe 6. When we got the second built, I think we were up to 10.
Reading you loud and clear.
Like, we did not have a large population
Copy that.
until we started fighting Comstar, and then all of a sudden, a lot of people wanted to take part in that fight.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
But that was just kind of how it was. And every game's like that. You look at WoW, for example, just because it's, huge MMO, right? People look at the meta. People play what's meta. They just do. If the most powerful DPS this expansion is Warlock, specifically Troll Warlock. Oh, look at that. 80% of Warlocks are Trolls. And, there's so many Warlocks that you can't even balance a raid properly very easily unless you have an established raid team. Because half the DPS players want to play Warlock. Warlock's the highest DPS.
Copy that. Well done.
These
Here
people
we go.
don't think, okay, what's the most fun class? They don't think, what's the easiest class? They look at this class, biggest number.
Damage minimum.
I played WoW Classic for years, and yeah. And yeah, Wise goes, even if the Troll Warlock is only best DPS at the top 0.01% of players who know how to optimize it. Yeah,
Barely scratched my armor.
I've dealt with that for years. I'm actually one of the admins on one of the WoW Classic Discords. And we had to spend years kind of beating that attitude out of people. Because when we get super duper competitive people being, belligerent dicks, we would just tell them to buzz off and we'd ban them. I actually retired Wise. I was in MOP. I wasn't really having fun. I just wasn't. And our pally tank in our guild decided to be a belligerent jackass. And I just looked down and said, I'm not having fun. I logged out. I canceled my subscription. Haven't touched it since. That was in September. I'm still active on Discord. I'm one of the admins on the Paladin Discord for Classic. But when I was active, I played on Westfall and then Pagel. When they started shutting Westfall down. And they never actually shut Westfall down. That's the funny part. They said they were shutting Westfall down. And they told everybody, hey, move off, or, you know, we're going to move you off to either server A or server B.
Taking the shot.
And then Westfall's actually still open last I heard. You can only make a character on Westfall if you have a character on
Minor
Westfall.
damage, Commander. Nothing to see here.
You have my attention.
Yeah, but if you had a character and you were having fun on Grob, you were Horde. If you were Alliance, you did not have fun on Grob.
Neutralizing threat.
Yeah, Kralik, I actually, so, way back in the day, I played from Vanilla to Kata. And I was a Ret Paladin for all of it, even in Vanilla. I raided Ret in 2006, because I am insane. When Classic came back, I was like, you know, I'm a lot smarter now. I am not a 20-something dumbass. We know a lot more about this game, and oh my god, we did know a lot more about that game. I remember when a high-end warrior was still bad DPS because threat was a thing, because nobody had figured out Fury Prot. So a good DPS, an extremely skilled and geared DPS, did like 700, and then Classic rolls around. Oh yes, warrior in Quest and Dungeon Blues, doing 1400 in Molten Core. Yeah, that all goes back to our whole meta discussion. People just flocked to the meta. That's why there was 800 billion warriors in Classic.
Awaiting orders. On my way. Copy that. That's gonna hurt.
Commander. Roger.
Yeah, for Classic, I played until Mop. I did the first tier of Mop. I wasn't enjoying it.
What do you need?
The community sucked,
Understood.
like, on my server. So I just said, I'm done. I retired. Haven't touched it since. Haven't felt like touching it. I had a friend for anniversary TBC invite me back. He said he needed a Ret Paladin. He even said he'd pay my subscription to come back and raid for him again, because he was my GM in Wrath Classic.
Moving out.
And I thought about it for a minute, but I sat back and I'm like, no, I've had my time. I've done this.
All weapons, go.
Good to go. Aye, aye.
Like, it'd be one thing if I had a bunch of real life friends to play with. That's what got me to come back in the first place.
Moving out.
I hadn't planned on it. And then some friends of mine were like, yeah, we're going to jump in, we're going to start a guild, blah, blah, blah.
Affirmative.
And like, we made it to level 60 together, but none of them raided. Like, they made it to 60 and then never formed a raid team, and that was just it.
Battle mech eliminated.
Waiting for orders.
So Wise is asking, now that we've answered, you know, what do I think is the hardest faction to start as, what do I think the easiest is? And again, it varies by season.
Commander,
Oddly enough,
moving to position.
season 3 and 4, the easiest start by far, in my opinion, was Canopus.
Yes, give them everything.
And the
you've
reason
got.
was they had a healthy stable of mediums in their role starts. Like, nothing fantastic, nothing crazy, just healthy. But it was really easy to roll several healthy medium mechs right off the bat. You got your starter rep. You could very quickly ally to Canopus and their faction store, right? Like their faction planetary stores. On their list was -M model Orions, which those are Republic era and Renaissance era clan invasion Orions that have an XL, have an LBX. They've got good tech in them from the get-go. And if you were allied, their price in store was like 5 or 6 million. You could just buy
Receiving you.
a heavy mech that was easy to fit for cheap.
Back for you. Show them what you got.
It was so easy to do. Like, I think by the time Influence even opened that season, I already had
Yes, I
2 of
hear
them.
Acknowledged. I'm moving.
And I had already gone up to
Administering justice.
Wolf and Bear space and got a whole bunch of clan tech and clan weapons and fitted my stuff out. So like, I had 2 Orions that each had a Gauss rifle and pair of PPCs, all clan.
Yes,
I had a Blackjack that was dual clan EUAC 5 on a Blackjack. Oh man, a 45-ton mech with 2 of those and a couple of, I think it had 2 clan medium pulse lasers too. Oh, it was so evil. Thing was better than almost any stock rifleman as a Blackjack.
receiving you. Roger. Done.
And if I remember right, that was before they added the penalty for firing at mechs smaller than you. So like, the thing was really, really mean to light mechs I was still seeing.
Let's move. Standing
God,
by.
season 3 was a nut show. It was insane. Because that was also the last season you could really, really, really just like reliably nuke things.
Targeting for an alpha strike. Hot damn, let's
Because
do this.
they had changed artillery that season. In that they made all of the artillery weapons proper tabletop size, which made them enormous. It was very hard to field artillery. That was also the season they enabled what they referred to as tub thumping. That's the self instability damage. So it was possible to throw your own mech to the ground if you had artillery, as well as, making artillery huge. But at the time, artillery still fired the same round,
What can I
so
do
like
for you?
there wasn't a delay,
Got it.
and you could use nukes with artillery
Ready.
cannons. So you could just throw a nuclear artillery out
Right,
with,
let's get this done.
a Xanthos.
Enemy down.
I had one that had a pair of Thumper artillery pieces,
Orders?
if I remember right. It might have been artillery cannons, but
Acknowledged.
it would throw 2 nukes at the start of the battle, and then I would just clean up,
I'm moving out.
because anything that was still alive was overheated.
Inflicting heavy damage.
Don's asking me about. So, it says, if you're familiar with the term, oh, I'm so familiar with this term. What faction, in your opinion, represents the concept known as DACA the most?
Orders.
Now, most people, in lore, would say Davian, because Davian fields by far the most autocannons. But I actually dissent with most people on this, because while they field lots of autocannons, they field crappy autocannons. In my opinion,
Copy that.
any clan
Good to go.
is the best DACA.
Up high.
Because clanner DACA, that's where the good stuff's at. That's where you've got your good UACs. That's where you've got your long-range racks. That's where you've got, the UAC 20. And yeah, Vilthos is right. In RTO, if you trigger the Black Market ability for Davian, they get autocannon ammunition. And they get, autocannons and other ballistic weapons. But at least to me, because the clans have the good guns and have them readily available in any season clans exist, clanners are actually the kings of DACA over Davian.
Orders. Copy that.
That and really, and again, this is going to be some blasphemy to roll out,
Everything you got.
specifically Society.
Aye, aye.
Because Society has these.
Location confirmed.
And yeah, Vilthos is right. So, they nerfed autocannons hard last season. They were not just nerfed a little. They were nerfed on 4 separate levels.
Commander.
I've even talked with some of the devs, and some of the devs who weren't involved in that particular side of things sat back and were like, wait, what?
Affirmative.
No retreat.
They were surprised. They didn't realize they had been that massively nerfed. Maybe I'll get lucky and those devs will, look back at it and say, no, this isn't fair. It's one of the fun parts of having been around forever. You know people.
Orders?
I won't say who. I won't say when or why or where, but
Locking target. Oh, it's on now.
oh god.
Reporting heavy damage.
I can't take much more of this.
I'm taking heavy hits,
He
Commander.
hit my own guys. I hate when I actually have line of sight with that
Armor.
tank. Anytime my gremlin can actually see the target directly, he tries to fire direct with his long tom
Taking
cannon.
minimal damage.
He almost always shoots right at his own face.
Commander.
And I know my missions aren't exactly going fast tonight. I'm really not worried about them. When I'm streaming, I have zero concern about speed. I'm just like, funny mech talk.
I'm listening. I'm on the move. For the Oregon people.
I love my kaiju.
I'm taking
That's why I
serious
named it
damage.
Daikaio,
I just took a heavy
the
hit.
Great Sea King.
What do you need? Got it. Venting heat.
I'm listening. I'll make it happen.
Standing by.
Yeah, up until last season,
Waiting on you,
I
Commander.
would build so much DACA every season.
Coordinates received.
Like that Annihilator of mine, that's
Got it.
4 Rack 5 clan.
Systems
Yeah, that was a normal
another
build for me.
shot.
I'd deploy like
Push free.
5 mechs like that. That was not unusual in any way for
No
me.
retreat. Wilco.
Ooh, was that a
Give them
face shot?
everything you've got.
Or did I bust out his side torso? Oh, side torso.
Commander. Affirmative.
Yeah, for a long, long time, I was the absolute king of big ballistic. I would drop so much Rack 5. My Season 5 Lance, I think I deployed 24 Clan Rack 5s. Yeah, it was 24 Clan Rack 5s across 6 mechs. And then I had a mech that was dual railguns
Ready for order?
and a mech that was mortars that season.
Give them everything I've got. Goddamn, let's do this.
And it was just straight up insanity. Especially since half of them were running Inferno ammo all the time.
Hit 'em hard.
And
Critical hit, Commander.
I had a Serkit that had dual plasma rails.
Reading you loud and
So, you know, I'd overheat 3 to 4 mechs every single turn. And then I'd hit them with plasma rails and they would just explode.
eliminating hostiles.
That Serkit was getting 2 kills every single
Victory.
round on the regular.
Eliminated.
Commander. Target confirmed. Losing lots of armor.
Systems holding.
Yes, Commander. Affirmative. Firing all weapons.
Hot damn, let's do this.
Enemy down.
That one little shot he missed. Seraph actually got close enough to be scary. And of course my AMS is way in the back because it couldn't jump forward. Basically, I have tactically screwed this up, but thankfully, not to a deadly degree.
Yes, Commander.
At least not yet. My mistakes are still peasant level, not royal.
Yeah? Holding and cooling.
Yeah, it's just such a
I hear ya.
weird mix of weapons.
You betcha. Stand still while I'm attacking you.
You have my attention. Affirmative. Reach. Pierce through the armor.
Let's give him a little bit of the warm foot.
What's up, boss? Right. Who's next?
Awaiting orders. On my way. 10-4.
Yes, Commander. Give them everything you've got. Inflicted some heavy damage.
Commander? Moving to position. Targeting for an alpha strike. No retreat! Scored a critical hit.
Standing by. Directorate must fall. Hostile unit down. Affirmative.
Do-do-do.
Firing.
Give him some laser and some hot foot.
Target's taken a critical hit.
Orders?
You know what? I don't like their UAVs.
Your armor it is. Hot damn, we're gonna do this right. Enemy destroyed.
That really is fun. I love shooting down UAVs with flak, just because it's so silly. It's like, yes, I have an artillery cannon. Let's fire a flak shell at a drone.
Standing by. Affirmative.
That's right, Phoenix down. Let's see how you like being shut down.
Commander. Roger that. Onward! No retreat!
Yeah, Kralik, I can see how that wouldn't be popular with the devs. nuclear UAV is a little bit excessive.
Receiving you. What can I do for
Especially since just launching that thing should cost,
you? On my way.
1 million C-bills.
Yes, I hear you. For the Oregon people. Reporting a critical strike.
Damn. Let's do this.
Move order confirmed. Confirmed. Well done. Here we go.
Receiving you. Back warriors. Show them what you. Target's taking a critical hit.
Vildos just said, oh, 15 hours. Should
Tell me what
restart
you
my
need.
game. Yeah? Yeah, you should.
I'm on it.
I'm sure your computer will
Follow
appreciate
me
that.
to victory.
I'm looking forward to revamping my computer setup.
Affirmative.
Long story short, wife and I have been looking at houses, hoping to get a place soon instead of renting. One of my things when we get a new house is I want to replace my desk. My desk is ancient. My dad bought it 30 years ago or so.
Well done. Here we go.
It
Waiting for
has,
orders.
this desk has seen so many places. It has lived in 3 different houses, 3 different apartments. This desk is
Taking
truly ancient. And yet, it was a cheap piece of crap from Sears.
that hit something good.
This was probably $100 in the 90s. Which, yeah, in the 90s, that was a fair amount of money.
Yeah?
But it was from
Bugging out.
Sears. It's particle board. It's not even real wood. It's the old particle board when it was, instead of wood chips and some wood glue,
Awaiting orders.
when it was like sawdust mixed with epoxy and then pressure formed.
I'm listening. The directorate must fall.
So yeah, this desk has lasted 30 years, and I plan on replacing it. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna replace both of my monitors because one is starting to flicker after 5 years, and the other,
One less target.
it was just a smaller version of the same monitor, and I can't get the same monitor anymore. So I want to replace both, have a matching set. New desk would actually fit
Betcha.
any matched pair, whereas my current desk does not.
Reporting. Good to go. Yes! Give them everything you've got!
Standing by. Confirmed.
See, and I don't often encounter anybody with a desk older than mine. Not unless it's some, super unique,
One less target.
crazy specific desk. Like, my wife's desk is actually older than mine. But that's because her desk is like a 60 or 70-year-old
Mission
Singer
successful.
sewing desk with, the sewing machine built into it. Her desk is an actual factual antique, whereas mine's Sears. My cat's sitting here meowing at me, demanding attention. Let's disassemble this thing to re-enable all my numbers. Show me the numbers. It's too bad that mission wasn't for Comstar. I could have gotten a whole stack of Clan Gauss rifles to sell. Guess I would have. Don't tell me the carbide armor didn't survive. It, oh, nope. Oh man, is that fixed? Or I'm sure that's fixed. I can't take the mech anyway, so I gotta disassemble it. Ooh, booster 3 though. That's good to have. Ooh, and some more of those. Yep, that's probably all I'm gonna get. Because I bet you the carbide armor didn't survive. Yep. I like cooling jackets from time to time. I don't think they're actually any good anymore, but man, I'm always just breaking even on missions themselves, unless I get like a whole bunch of clan engines or something.
Hey Doc, the work you put in on that thrust controls really paid off. Steering is buttery smooth.
Ah, one more day. I wonder if there's any duels. There's duo. Would have preferred a solo, but duo will work. See if I can make some pocket change here. Just so I'm not losing money on the month.
Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
I actually hate this dual map. But you know, I just got a jump booster. I should give it to him. Just so he's a better duelist.
Receiving you. Hitting the jump jet. Here it comes. Yes, Commander. Full speed, no target.
Being able to jump 6 would make this map so much easier for him. He can get to land real fast and then turbo across.
Good to go. Roger. Orders? Roger that. Systems holding. Not much armor left in that location. Acknowledged.
Okay, he can reach land.
I'm under heavy fire.
So many laser. That was too many laser. I don't like.
Fire. I'm out of LRMs. Standing by. Copy that. Aye, aye.
Battle mech power-up detected.
Jeez. Can't
Commander?
actually reach him. Alright. Charge him. Kill him. Ha.
That's a kill. That's right. Who's next?
Battle mech power-up detected.
Aye, copy. Let's go. Reporting critical hit. Ready
See,
for orders.
usually this mech does punch bot things and just, you know, punches things to death.
On my way.
Almost always takes a head
Go
off.
time.
A lot of these enemies, it's not even worth doing so.
Commander. Moving out. Acknowledged. Give them everything you've got.
What a punk. Stackpole.
Mission successful.
Hey, at least there's something worth $1 or two.
Commander,
Nope, nothing fresh.
ready to go over financials whenever you are.
I was hoping to stay over 18. Maybe make some money. I might have to stop farming kill teams and tech and start farming money again. At least I'm close to clan space, so I can.
That work order you submitted is complete.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing yet. I picked up a thug because it was cheap. I think I got most of the parts all at once. Can't remember. It was the other day. But Comstar just happened to have thug parts in our store. So it's like, oh, hey, thug. Surely this has uses that can make it better than my Black Knight. Surely. And then I actually looked at it and I'm like, yeah, maybe not. I mean, let's theorize this for a second. Oh, I don't even have an XL I can throw in it, but yeah, it would free up 8 tons. So as long as I'm not 8 tons over, I'm good. And let's start with Endo and Harden. This is already not looking good. Especially since I would want to use capacitors. Wow, this is looking ugly. Let's see, I don't really care about OP accuracy, so that's fine. There's nothing here that's really gonna give me any kind of advantage. I would need Nova. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at these. These are 6. These are 6. Uh-oh. Good God, this thing's an abomination. And like I said, I've just gotta stay with, like, right about there. Spending the money on a Clan XL, for which I would have to move some things around and switch it to composite to fit. I would still have 1 ton left at this point. Then again, if I pull that out of the Black Knight, I'd have the Proto Plus kit. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to make this thing better than the Black Knight. Not significantly. It's alright. It's not great. Maybe instead of going for direct punch... Ooh, I've only got one. See, I'm still under my weight. And holy crap, suddenly it gets really, really cold. Heat's still good. How's heat? And then 2 tons of streak ammo. Actually, I won't even need 2. Or hell, what do these weigh again? These are 3 tons. What do these suckers weigh? 3, 5. These are way more versatile. And I only have 1, so it doesn't matter. Or I could do something insane. And I'm under my weight limit. I wouldn't need that. I'm being just a little bit crazy. If anybody wants to tell me, hey, just go play missions, just tell me to go play missions. All of this would be really stupid because I've got accurate weapon energy and no energy weapons. I don't think this thug is going to see any use. It doesn't have enough energy hard points to make it good, and they're in the wrong places to make it good. So I think for now it's just going to go into storage. Ooh, look, duels. Ooh, solo duel. I do like those. I need to look at the map. Tell me it's not. Okay. It's not the one with the stupid island. Oh, I actually like this one. This one's fun.
Receiving you.
Zoom.
Speed, no target. My armor's getting stripped off. Coordinates received.
Sorry, Victor, you're grounded.
Yes, Commander. Move order received. Putting my weight into it.
I think I blew out his torso.
Mission success.
Hey, I actually made money. That almost never happens. Yep, broke out a side torso, which means all the valuable stuff is gone. Well, guys, we are just over the 2-hour mark. Does anybody have more questions for me? Spam bots. And Vilthos, African or Europeans follow. And yeah, I had to ban a bot. Okay, so Wise asks, how does RTO Discord enforce people not holding grudges between seasons? So, long story short, they only kind of do. If you're caught blatantly having a grudge, you get disciplined. It might be a loss of vetting. It might be, some other penalty. They might even just straight up ban you. But, there's different ways. Yeah, the moderators for RTO, they really do try to be very hands off. They try not to be overly disciplinarian or anything like that. And they do encourage, you know, chaos and fighting and all that. But they try not to have people like be overly stressed by it. They do try to keep things civil. They want people to be fighting it out but having fun, which is very, very hard. And there's definitely people that don't like each other, and that's just never going away. Those are folks that they're not going to ever get along no matter what you do, and that exists. And they really, as long as people don't act on that real hard, like, oh, so and so is in this faction, let's kill this faction. As long as people don't do stuff like that, they just kind of let it slide. Ooh, I need more of those. I just always do.
New equipment available.
Wait, there's a WOB mission adjacent to me?
Hello, Commander. Good to see you.
Oh man, WOB got up there fast. That's what that was. I saw they had flipped Hoenums, but I wasn't sure where that was. I thought that was way down south. I'm not sure where WOB's going. I know they want to go play with clanners. I don't know if they want to aggressively play with clanners or playfully play with clanners. But I'm taking a quick screenshot of what this weapon is for somebody in Discord. Yeah, I want to do more duels.
I wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
Duels are where I make money, if money is to be made. Wait, which map is this? Oh, this is the crappy map. I hate this map. Oh, and I want to... Yeah, let's update that thing slightly. I think he tried but couldn't find them. Oh, I forgot he can't do a booster 3. He can only do like a booster Ooh, because of the weight limits. So painful. Oh yeah, this mech never even got an XL, it's just running on light. Why do people focus this mech so hard? Like, why does the AI hate this mech? It's not like its damage potential is insane. It's definitely not my most expensive. Actually, let's just take them off torso. Now it's even heat stable. I'd love to throw an XL in this sucker. I'd probably throw in one more heatsink there, and then just up armor the hell out of it. Just because it's crazy.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Doesn't he have jump jets? No. I could reduce the IATM tubes down slightly, and then give this sucker jump for days. I could give this thing so much jump. It is right at on heat. I'd kill for another carbide. I've got one carbide right now, and it's on my punch, but I'd kill for a second one right now. Because that would go great on this beast. Put carbide on it. I'd free up weight. Does lose a little bit of damage, but now it's mobile. Now it doesn't have to run everywhere. It can actually jump in position. I like that.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
This is an all-ship announcement. As a reminder, pets are not allowed.
Then again, now that I think about it,
Cargo. If you're
since it
out
doesn't rely on
shopping
speed anymore, I
and
could have
you
put it
see
into
something
hardened armor.
fluffy, enjoy it
Oh
instead. In its native habitat. It doesn't
well,
belong on a dropship.
not gonna worry about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to clear these duels, and then I'm going to call it a night. I do admit I was kind of hoping for more questions and stuff, but that's all right. I think I'm going to try to make this like at least a once a month thing where I have a Q&A night, just to try to get more people and get more involved, because that's, to me, that's what makes this really possible for me. When I'm just sitting here and just playing with it being recorded, it's really awkward to me. It just is. If I don't have somebody that I actually feel like I'm talking to, I feel like I'm just being insane.
Command interface initiated.
Because, you know, only a crazy person just sits here and talks to a video game by themselves. I think he missed.
I hear ya. Pedal to the metal. Commencing Alpha Strike. What's up, boss? Time to unload.
Nightstar is a solid chassis. Most of its variants are very sane and very, very reliable. The most base model, the basic one from the American Civil War, the first edition of it,
Taking a critical hit.
in tabletop is an absolute monster. It is almost a nightmare machine to fight.
Got something you want done?
Because the very, very original, if I remember correctly, even on an Alpha Strike where it sprints that route, it can only generate like one heat.
I think I hit something good.
That's it, one. It literally has no need for additional heat sinks whatsoever.
Get fired up. There's work to do.
Mission successful.
Because the base model, it's the 9J? Dual Gauss and ERPPC, and then a couple of lasers. So Krellick asks if I've gotten to design my RTO mech yet. I have designed one. In fact, I've actually designed a couple, but they've never been implemented. I never have time to sit down, message Dark Chaos, and just be, hey, this is what it should be. Never had time to sit and make the event and work through all that stuff. And I don't know how to do it. If I knew how to code and make all that stuff, I would just go ahead and make it and be like, here you go. But I don't. And I don't even know what I really want to do for it. I mean, I know what mech I want. I know what design I want for the mech. But as far as like an actual event to pop it and for you to claim that mech, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to make it, hey, go to Strana. Or if I want to make it, hey, go to Terra. Or like require you to be on a specific faction world like Wolf or Comstar for it to pop, and then you have to go somewhere else. I don't know.
wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
I kind of have an idea where I might be able to make people go, but it's a little silly. But it is at least related to Season 5.
Yang, I'm seeing a huge energy surge in the mech bay.
When I was writing stuff up in Season 5,
Yeah,
Clan Wolf's quote-unquote capital world for a little while, outside of, you know, Strana, which, yeah, that was not feasible, obviously, was Principia, down in what used to be Lao space. God, we ate so much of them. I chose it because in reading up on the lore and everything in our particular region of territory we held, it was actually like the most developed world in that area. It was actually like a regional headquarters for most of Capellan history. So it's like, okay, this is a place that already has the logistics and already has the facilities to serve as a headquarters area. So in the story that I was writing, it did. It was Clan Wolf's capital world for several years. Until, you know, Tara.
Reactor online. Sensors online.
It'd just be a
Weapons
good little nod to
online.
the season RP
All
from
systems
back
nominal.
then.
Command interface initiated.
Oh, I've talked about it before, Wise.
Yes, Commander.
The chassis is a Black Knight, specifically a 6B Black Knight base, but it's built out as a hellacious punch bot for a Black Knight. Like,
I copy.
is it top tier? No. It's not supposed to be. Those mechs, they're literally supposed to be mid. That is their design intent,
What's up,
is
boss?
this is mid. It should not be a mech that you can pick up and just pillage into a whole bunch of good gear for other mechs. But I do have it, like, laid out to be an effective punch bot.
Roger that.
So you could, if you had the pilot and the event pops, whatever the requirements are, unless you're like late game already rocking, you know, an Obsidian Skull or a Care Bear or a super well fitted, you know, Atlas or Kodiak or something of that nature, it would be a fantastic pickup to be your puncher.
Targeting for physical attack. That's a man. Hell yeah. Standing by. Holding here. Standing by.
He's lost both arms.
Give them everything you've got.
And of course,
Aye, aye.
All you gotta do is touch the face.
Mech warriors, show 'em.
What's his health at? Oh, he's
Waiting
at
for
half.
Copy that. Locked on for physical attack.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get anything out of that for loot.
Mission successful.
Yeah, wise with luck, if it can get into game anytime even remotely close to soon, it's a Black Knight with some lasers in it. A 375 XL engine and melee affinities and melee quirk. Like it has melee actuators, I think was the intended goal. Just because, my pilot, he's meant to punch. He's really not designed to do anything else. The Elcon perk makes him good with DACA, but and yeah, Wise says sweet, like the idea of it not or of it having a niche and not just being OP or a loot pinata, and that's the goal for all the RTO legend attached mechs. Is they should not be a loot pinata. If they have something really, really cool on it, it's fixed gear that you can't remove. So, like, some of the stuff on mine is going to be fixed gear you can't remove. That way you can't just take that stuff and do something else. Yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it for the night. Mostly because it's been over 2.5 hours already, and that makes this a huge upload to YouTube. um, like I said, I think I'm going to try to do this at least once a month. Just make this, hey, let's do Q&A night this week, and we'll see how it goes. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get back to you on them. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good one.